is CTV News.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. A crackdown on so-called renovictions may be coming to Chatham-Kent as the municipality looks at new rules that could force landlords to prove renovations are legit before tenants are pushed out. CTV's Robert Lothian has the latest.
Chatham-Kent is proposing new rules requiring further proof that renovations require a tenant to move out. It's one of the several changes the municipality believes can help cut down on so-called renovictions. About 30 people gathering tonight to weigh in on the rental renovation license bylaw. Many of them were tenants who say their own experiences are direct examples of why this is needed.
So there's something wrong somewhere, and I just hope this guy will be stopped, because he's gone on and he's got away with it too long.
This bylaw would have prevented virtually every single problem we've encountered with this landlord.
The bylaw includes added communication between tenants and landlords and proof of permits to carry out the renovations. Plans to create a renoviction bylaw date back to January. That's when about 40 residents from a Chatham apartment building were blindsided by renovation notices, claiming they would have to move out for 8 months. Paralegal Jeff Wilkins believes the licensing will help.
The majority of the time, they do not even apply for the permits. With this bylaw, they will have to apply for the permits. And if I see a permit and they've gone that far to get the permit, that means it's probably legitimate.
Not everyone in attendance agrees that this licensing is necessary. Some landlords speaking here tonight say this will further drive away people who want to invest in Chatham-Kent, going on to say that some of these rules already exist at the provincial level.
So for the municipalities say, oh, we're going to step in because there's a gap. There's no gap. The gap, it's already there. So the LTB will decide whether or not the owner can go through with their renovation or not.
Whether or not the licensing is overstepping is the decision that will be made by council. A public survey remains open on the municipality's website. Feedback will be included in a report headed to council in June. In Chatham-Kent, Robert Lothian, CTV News.
Essex County has built a reputation for great wine, but local wineries say getting those bottles sold across Canada is still far too difficult. Now, a new report suggests tearing down interprovincial trade barriers could pour billions into the economy. CTV's Chris Campbell reports.
There's a very large barrier in place, and the main barrier are the provinces.
As talk continues across Canada about removing internal trade barriers, Essex County wineries say the wine industry is still facing roadblocks.
No opportunity. Zero. Doors shut.
Steve Mitchell is president of Sprucewood Shores Estate Winery and vice chair of Ontario Craft Wineries. He says each province's liquor board still controls what wines get access to store shelves.
There are buyers that make decisions about what's brought into their province in order to sell. And the truth is that there's a very large opportunity for the buyers in other provinces to make decisions to bring in more wines from other provinces.
A new report shared with CTV News estimates increasing the market share of Canadian wine could grow the industry's contribution to Canada's GDP from $10 billion to nearly $14 billion annually. The industry wants a federal strategy and a reduced tax burden. Right now, according to Wine Growers Canada, mid-sized wineries pay on average 14 times more in excise duty than their U.S. competitors.
That means that winery in the United States has a greater chance of investing in their business, growing their business, whereas the winery in Ontario, or any place in Canada for that matter, would face a significant impact.
Mitchell says the potential benefits would extend far beyond the winery itself.
If more wines from Essex County are purchased, then that means that growers need to put more grapes in the ground. That means that wineries need to buy more tanks. It means that they need to hire more salespeople.
The federal government says it has been pushing provinces to move faster.
We think the provinces need to do more. We've talked to the provinces about moving faster.
Mitchell says there has been some progress, including a new agreement between Ontario and Nova Scotia, allowing direct-to-consumer wine shipments. But he says there's still a long way to go.
Every time we buy a bottle of wine from another country, we're handing them dollars. It'd be much better if we could hand each other dollars.
Industry leaders say removing interprovincial barriers would not only help wineries grow, but could also keep more Canadian dollars and jobs here at home. In Essex County, Chris Campbell, CTV News.
In a Windsor court today, a man pleading guilty after a deadly fall down a flight of stairs last year 46-year-old Kevin Harris pleading guilty to manslaughter today in the death of 53-year-old Walter Renew. Court heard the two men got into a fight inside a Wyandotte Street West home in October of 2025 after Renew confronted Harris over alleged drug use. A witness told police she heard someone yell, "Get out," followed by loud thumps. Renew was pushed down a staircase, hit his head, and died. Harris fled the scene before turning himself into police. A sentencing date has not been determined. And a coroner's jury has returned a series of recommendations after a London police officer shot and killed a 29-year-old man from Sarnia during a struggle 5 years ago. With the details, here's CTV's Nick Paparella.
After a week and a half of submissions, the jury at the coroner's inquest looking into the London police shooting death of 29-year-old Justin Barassa returned with a total of 10 recommendations. In the early morning hours of October 28, 2021, officers were attempting to arrest the Sarnia man because they mistakenly thought he was involved in a possible break-and-enter investigation along Richmond Row in the downtown area. He was shot and killed after he placed one of the constables in a rear-naked chokehold during an altercation. After spending a day deliberating, the jury made the recommendations to help prevent future similar incidents. Among them, they want police to develop scenario-specific guidelines to support de-escalation and conflict prevention and recognize that time, distance, and containment are tactical options. Also, review and enhance training programs, including defensive tactics. Look at best practices for police radio use to improve communications for an active investigation. And to assist officers to deal with shooting incidents, the jury recommended post-incident tactical debriefing and organizational learning, including officer wellness, along with post-use of force assessment of officers, including a psychological fitness for duty test. After the jury released the recommendations, the Barassa family reached out to CTV News through their lawyer in an email, saying in part, Justin's life deserved more time, more care, and a different ending. Meanwhile, the London Police Association put out a statement supporting the actions of the two officers involved in the case. Nick Paparella, CTV News.
The price at the pump is on the rise again ahead of the long weekend. Ontario gas prices are sitting at an average $1.89.9 today. That's up about 2 cents from yesterday, according to Dan McTagg with Canadians for Affordable Energy. The price hikes don't stop there. He says another 2 to 4 cent spike is expected this week for most of southern Ontario. As for diesel, McTagg expects those prices to jump another 6 cents a litre to over $2.20 at most stations. A growing concern inside Windsor's emergency rooms tonight. A new report says patients are waiting far longer to see a doctor than they were just a few years ago, and some say it all comes down to dollars and cents. CTV's Sanjay Maru has the story.
If you head into the emergency room at Windsor Regional Hospital, it takes far longer to see a physician now than it did 5 years ago. That's according to the Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives, which says chronic underfunding and staffing pressures are making it harder for hospitals to keep up with patient demand.
Ontario funds its hospital system at the lowest per capita rate in the country. It funds its overall health system at the lowest per capita rate in the country. And this is not a distinction that I think Ontario wants to have.
At Windsor Regional Hospital, the time for 90% of ER patients to see a doctor rose from 4.7 hours in 2021 to 8.7 hours in 2025. And for those who need a bed, the wait increased to 34 hours, up from nearly 20 hours 5 years prior. The report also found every hospital in the Erie St. Clair Health Network were operating in deficit last fiscal year.
What that means is that hospitals are, rather than thinking about how to expand services, how to increase staffing levels, they are concerned about how to reduce costs.
But according to the local paramedics union, funding is just part of why ER waits are so high, not just here, but across Ontario. If requested, paramedics are legally required to transport patients to the ER, even if a complaint is minor, and even if paramedics offer alternative options for care. QP 2974 says many many elect to be transported by ambulance because they believe it results in faster ER care.
This is a common misconception. If we're not able to put them into the waiting room, that's when we're in that back hallway with them on our stretchers for a long duration until there is a bed available. But it certainly doesn't get you any faster care.
James Jovanovich says many patients end up in the ER because they feel they have few other options for care, especially after hours. Adding a lack of around-the-clock urgent care clinics and family doctors mean more people turn to the ER for issues that may not otherwise require emergency treatment.
We're certainly seeing this on the front line as far as patients seeing longer waits. It's because the whole healthcare system from top to bottom is underfunded and understaffed and under-resourced.
In a statement, the province says the claims made in the Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives report are misguided. The province says it is investing more than $101 billion into healthcare this year, including a fourth consecutive 4% increase in hospital funding, while noting funding for Windsor Regional Hospital has risen more than 35% since 2018. The Ford government also points to more than 50 hospital redevelopment projects, expanded pharmacist care, and a plan to connect every Ontarian with a primary care provider by 2029. Sanjay Maru, CTV News.
Dozens of local charities supporting kids and youth across Windsor-Essex are getting a big financial boost tonight.
We collect goods and then we sell them, and then the profits, portions of the profits go right back to the community.
The May Court Club of Windsor is handing out $140,000 to 37 different organizations, including food banks, youth programs, sports groups, shelters, and health organizations. The money comes from sales at the club's volunteer-run thrift shop and fundraisers held throughout the year, with all of the proceeds staying right here in Windsor-Essex. The group says this year's total is up $40,000 from last year.
These are things that go above and beyond what we're funded for, and this will sustain us for a year. So it's incredibly impactful for the work that we're able to do in children and youth healing.
Canada's Jeremy Hansen and the rest of the Artemis II crew touched down in Ottawa today, meeting with Prime Minister Mark Carney, students and space fans after making their history-making trip around the moon. CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver has more.
We didn't really see this either, because this is so cool.
It was a different kind of moon mission in Ottawa today.
I think we saw that crater.
The Artemis II crew giving Prime Minister Mark Carney and a group of students special insight into their epic 10-day lunar flyby mission. 12-year-old Louis Castro Lopez among the middle school students who got to ask the astronaut questions.
Yeah, I watched the astronauts, and just to come here, like to meet our school was, wow, amazing.
Fellow 7th grader Annabelle Busby Sheridan did too, and she got to hold a piece of meteorite from the moon.
It was such a privilege. Like, I never thought, ever that I'd ever be able to meet them.
Splashdown confirmed.
The visit to the capital comes just over 1 month after the 4-person crew splashed down safely in the Pacific Ocean.
We surpassed the furthest distance humans have ever traveled.
Following a groundbreaking mission to the far side of the moon that captured the world's attention. Canadian Jeremy Hansen getting a special thank you from Carney.
This is the flag that flew on the day you splashed down.
Oh, wow.
Hansen's trip into outer space was his first, and it was also the furthest any Canadian astronaut has ever traveled.
Canada very much went to space, and I rode on your shoulders.
That Canadian pride on full display at each stop in the capital, where fans, young and old, were inspired to reach new heights.
I want to be the first man, and if it's possible, to walk on Mars.
The Artemis II crew will now head to Montreal, where the astronauts will share more about their thoughts on the mission at the Canadian Space Centre tomorrow. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Ottawa.
CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald has your full weather details coming up in 2 minutes' time. And still ahead, see how Gary spent his day when he wasn't putting together the forecast. Let's take a look at the forecast with one half of our very own pro pickleball pair, Gary Archibald, of course. And Gary, the good thing is you can play pickleball inside, you can play it outside, but it is going to warm up, so maybe it is time to move to those outdoor courts.
Well, it's going to warm up. I'm certainly not a pro, but I had a chance to play with the owner of the Pickleplex Windsor, one of the co-owners, and an actual pro player. And they're both really good players. Bob Belichico was my teammate. You'll see that in a bit. 15.1 degrees Celsius, about 5 degrees below seasonal. We had some sunshine early, but the clouds moved in late in the morning, and it's been a windy day, all due to this massive spin of low pressure. You can make out the counterclockwise swirl. Showers, thunderstorms moving through Pennsylvania, New York State, and further east. That's the worst weather that this system is producing, but scattered showers post-frontal behind the initial front are a possibility. And that's the story between now and, say, 6 a.m. Thursday morning. It's going to be a cloudy start, but then good news is we'll see a nice clearing. Thursday afternoon, going to see some sunshine. Temperatures will hover around, say, 15 to 17 degrees Celsius, Chatham-Kent towards Windsor, Essex. And that's below seasonal because our average as of today is 20 degrees on the nose. Tomorrow for Windsor, it'll be close to about 20.1 and creeping up. Very scattered, very light showers if you see it at all. I don't think most of us will see much of anything through the overnight, but there's a chance, about a 40% chance of an occurrence. Again, very light if we do see it. 7 degrees Celsius is cool for this time of the year. It'd be closer to about 9. Cloudy to start, but that's pre-dawn. And then a nice sunny break, just windy and coolish at 8 a.m. The winds out of the northwest, if not straight out of the north throughout the day, will be in and out of some cloud through the noon hour, up to 11 degrees, and then 17 between about 4 and 5 p.m. under mostly sunny conditions. UV index is moderately high at a 6, so protect yourself, your eyes, sunglasses, of course, a good idea, and sunscreen. Fair weather, though, not bad. Friday, up to 21, and here's where things get interesting. Friday's a seasonal day, but Saturday's up to 26. 25, possibly on a fair weather Sunday. Monday, up to 30, and holding on to that warmth with cloudiness. Tuesday, Wednesday, we're back down to upper teens where we'd normally be. That is an interesting surge and forecast. Travis?
Thanks, Gary. And as Gary alluded to today, he and Bob Belichico traded their mics for pickleball rackets. The two hit the courts at Pickleplex Windsor on Lozon Road this afternoon, taking on co-owner Gina Faka and head pro Evan Holinsky. Bob and Gary got a quick lesson in just how fast and competitive pickleball can get, with plenty of strategy mixed in too.
Pickleball is really interesting because it's a game of it's like a game of chess. You'd never really know what your opponent is thinking on the other side, and so you watch a lot of video review of their game to get an idea of like how we're going to approach this game and what matchups we're going to put against their team, you know, so it's really interesting how that works.
From the pickleball court to the open road now, a Stratford man is running the equivalent of a marathon a day, all to support his wife in her fight against cancer. Here's CTV's Scott Miller.
Sam Simon receives a hero's welcome in Ayton as the 57-year-old runs from his home in Stratford to Tobermory in honor of his wife, who is currently fighting cancer.
My wife has terminal cancer. It's her third bout of this, and she's my hero. What she goes through, this is nothing what I'm doing.
Simon left Stratford on Monday and is spending tonight in Hanover. He's ran about 113 kilometers over 3 days, not quite halfway to his 251-kilometer total that will land him and his crew in Tobermory, hopefully by Monday.
We're running up to Tobermory through the Bruce Peninsula. It's going to take us about a week, 8 days. We're doing about a marathon a day, give or take. And we're doing this to raise money for 3 wonderful organizations.
The Stratford General Hospital, Wellspring Stratford Cancer Centre, and London Health Sciences Centre Cancer Centre will be the beneficiaries of Sam's epic run for cancer, a run that is already taking a toll on his body.
The body is, you know, I'm not going to lie to you, it's feeling it at night. So at night, when we stop, they ice up the knees, and it's my knees, and I have a blister on the one foot, but I've got a lot of guidance on how to do that. So other than the one blister on the right foot, which we're working on, and the knee's a little sore, we're doing wonderful.
Simon says the 6 months of training leading up to his epic run has certainly helped, as has his wonderful road crew, keeping him healthy and on the right track. He knows why he's doing this, which keeps him putting one foot in front of the other.
We're just keep moving, keep 1 foot at a time forward.
Simon has already raised over $24,000 to date for the 3 health organizations that have helped most with his wife's care. You can follow, learn more, and donate to Sam Simon's epic run for cancer by visiting our website. Near Ayton, Scott Miller, CTV News.
The TSX lost about 250 points in New York. The Dow dropped 67. The Nasdaq gained 314. The Canadian dollar added a modest 0.04 of a cent. Gold gained $20 an ounce. Oil lost $1.16 a barrel. CTV News Windsor has launched a newsletter helping you start your day with the latest local news. By signing up, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca. The Windsor Spitfires are now dealing with the impact of losing one of their top young forwards to NCAA hockey. Ethan Belchetz is heading to Michigan State after 2 seasons in Windsor. The former first overall pick missed the playoffs with an injury and is expected to be a high pick in next month's NHL draft. The departure marks another example of how NCAA eligibility changes are reshaping major junior hockey.
We will figure this out. We'll put a good team together like we always do, and it's news that we didn't expect here in the middle of May, but like I said, it's not the end of the world. The Spitfires have always lost players in recent years, and if we keep doing a good job and running good hockey programs, it's good for our players to go on to what they think are bigger and better plans.
And a Lakeshore powerlifter continues to impress well into his 60s. Ron Strong has spent years competing around the world and breaking records on the powerlifting circuit. The 15-time Canadian and world champion once set a world squat record by lifting 518 pounds as a master lifter at age 61. Now he's been inducted into Canada's Powerlifting Hall of Fame.
I've always respected my body. Listen to it, I guess, is the right way to say it. When something's off, then, you know, respect what your body's trying to tell you. Take care of it. It's the only one we got. And, yeah, I don't see any reason to quit anytime soon. So I'm hoping for another 4 or 5 more good years in me.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald is back with a look at the 7-day forecast. And Gary, this is looking like beautiful temperatures for a long weekend and pickleball.
You're right about that. And for pickleball, outdoors, sure. I do enjoy the sport. I'm not a pro, but I do like the sport. The temperatures are headed up, way up, as we approach the weekend, long weekend. Happy Victoria Day to you and yours. Thursday, 17, cool, 3 degrees below seasonal, but at least fair. It's a windy day. Friday, fair, 21, slightly above seasonal. And then we're several degrees above seasonal Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And now, there's a chance to shower Saturday, but it's not going to wipe out the possibilities of being outdoors playing pickleball and other things like golf or volleyball, tennis, whatever it may be. Sunday, Monday, look at that jump, 25 to 30. And then 25 Tuesday, most people back to work. Wednesday, cooler. The surge ends, and we're seasonably cool a week from now. Wherever you are, enjoy your pickleball playing outdoors or indoors, and your weather. Travis?
Thank you, Gary. Finally tonight, for most people, a job lasting 5 years is a big milestone, but one woman on the East Coast tried 50. CTV's Ryan McDonald has the story of a beloved Canadian Tire employee who has celebrated not just for her years on the clock, but for the impact she's had on generations of customers and coworkers.
Any day you wear a sash and tiara to work isn't exactly a regular work day.
Well, I've been here 50 years. I started in 1976.
Today, family, friends, and co-workers, past and present, came to the Canadian Tire in Sydney to celebrate Martha McIsaac's half-century working here.
My mother and Canadian Tire are the same age. My mother was born 1922, September. Canadian Tire started October 1922. So I think it's a little bit of synchronicity going on.
Considering this Canadian institution marked its 100th birthday only a few years ago, McIsaac has been around for nearly half of its existence.
It doesn't matter where we go. People see her and they know her as Martha from Canadian Tire everywhere.
McIsaac's daughter says not only is her mother a familiar face to generations of customers, but her loyalty to her workplace over the years has been unmatched.
I've spent many Friday evenings with her, wandering numerous other department stores that shall go nameless to do price comparisons.
I was 3 years old when Martha started working at Canadian Tire.
When the party moved upstairs to the lunchroom, there was cake.
Oh my God.
A card signed by all her colleagues, and a service pin that isn't handed out too often.
Here's a 50-year pin. This one's pretty special.
Then the woman of the hour was presented with a watch, which apparently she doesn't need because her boss says in 50 years she was pretty much never late.
I don't know, I might go for my 75 years.
I really hope that she knows how much she's loved and appreciated. And if she knows by the end of today how much her 50 years have meant to a lot of people and to a community as a whole, I think, I think it's well done.
This is 50 years.
A fitting celebration for a major milestone. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
That's our time for tonight. I hope you'll join us tomorrow. For now, I'm Travis Fortnum. Take care.